Bayani Bash fam, Erica here, your hustle harder mommy, working alongside you to become healthier, wealthier, and wiser on this thoughtful Thursday. What is up? It is so good to see you guys. So I want to ask you a simple question, jumping right in. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. My book of the week, I have a 50 book per year challenge, which equates to about one book a week, taking the holidays off. But I am in the midst of a major cleanup. I have some transitions and things going on in my life and with my family. So I am focusing on getting my environment in order. I had a video called Look Around, which talks about the importance of a clean, tidy, and organized environment. That is my focus for the next 2 weeks. So Sync Reflections by Marla Silly, which is my background book, the book I told you I would be reading in the background, in addition to any other books that I am reading. That book is my focus right now. So that is Sync Reflections by Marla Silly, is still my book of the week. So I want to ask you a question, fam. Sorry, that looks crazy. Then what? Then what? I know I spoke to you on Health Tip Tuesday about the panic surrounding the coronavirus, and I originally was not going to address it at all. But then, fear started to escalate. And then, if you didn't know, the World Health Organization has designated it a pandemic, which simply added to the panic. Colleges and universities are going to online classes via a Skype type platform. Lots of professional sporting and festival and music events are being canceled. Someone was telling me they went into Target and it was completely empty. People are having their food and groceries delivered. They're afraid to go out. So I want to ask you, then what? Meaning fear. I want to talk to you about fear. We often work things up in our mind and we marinate on them and we turn them over and over until we have worked ourselves up into a complete frenzy. So this is what I'm going to challenge you to do on this Thoughtful Thursday. We think and we challenge ourselves. I want you to imagine the scenario that you have worked up in your head, that worst case scenario. And then I want you to say to yourself, okay, that thing that I fear the most, that thing I have worked up in my mind happens. Then what? I want you to ask yourself, then what? What do you do after that? Because a plan is always better than worrying anyway. But worrying is pointless. I heard someone say it's like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you absolutely nowhere. So take that scenario you have worked up in your head that you are allowing to panic you and cause you to lose sleep. And I want you to imagine it happens just like you have it worked up in your mind. Then what? Because it's the then what that's important. It's what happens after that's going to matter. Are you going to panic? Are you going to fall apart? Are you going to just run around like Chicken Little saying the sky is falling, the sky is falling? So I also heard someone say that fear is false evidence appearing real. Oftentimes we work these things up in our head and they never turn out the way that we have them worked up. That disaster, that chaos, that rejection that we have in our mind never even comes to pass. And even if it does, like they say, did you die? And then let's take it a step further. Even if what you're imagining, the worst thing that you're imagining, does result in your death, then what? Regardless of what we like to tell ourselves, when we close our eyes in death, that is not the end of our existence. That is the end of this physical body, this shell that we live in. That's why it ages. That's why we have aches and pains. It reminds us that we will not be young forever. We will not be here forever. So then what? That is the important question. Not what if, what if, what if, what if, what if. It's then what? So I would encourage you to answer the then what. I'm not here to give you the answers because most of you already know what the right answers are. And worrying doesn't do anything for you. And you have zero control over the things that you are worrying about. You have zero control over whether or not you get a coronavirus or whether or not you get hit by a vehicle or whether or not you get cancer. You have zero control over that. Yes, you're supposed to exercise wisdom and do what you can do, but ultimately your life is not in your hands. Teenagers die every day. Babies, unfortunately, die every day. So if you are alive, it is your job to live. It is not your job to worry. It is your job to pray and to trust, to be wise, and think about the what then, or then what, not what if. So, sorry, not a cheerful, sunshiny message, but valid nonetheless. So the fear needs to go, the panicking needs to go, the worry needs to go, because you have zero control over what happens next. You have zero control over what happens in the next 5 minutes. So worrying does nothing for you. But I do want you to know that I appreciate you, and you are loved, wanted, and needed, or you would not be here. So what now? Then what? And I do love you, fam. Bye.